Remember when I had a simple goal in life of to ride down Main Street Park City on a motorcycle? Yeah, and now look at us. Hello and welcome. So, at this spot last year, my good friend Mitch and I, we set off on a motorcycle ride to southern Utah. It was the first time we've both done like a long overnight motorcycle trip. And this time we are doing it again. But this time we are riding further than either of us have done before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, further than either of us have ridden before, all the way to Colorado, specifically the town of Ouray. And our purpose with this trip is to, one, see what is known as the Switzerland of America, and more importantly, see what is known as one of the best highways in America called the $1 Million Highway. So we are going to see if it lives up to the name and see what else we can find along the way. Anyways, welcome. Hopefully you enjoy this video and enjoy watching our trip. So let's go.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Oh, and before I continue, this time, one big difference besides doing a longer ride is I have a new bike. So this is my new Triumph Tiger 900 Rally, and so far it's much better, much more comfortable, and much more powerful than my previous Honda CB500X. So this is going to be a perfect test for it because this is what this bike is supposed to be good for. So we'll see how it does. Ready? Yeah. Our journey started off on Highway 6, taking us away from Utah Valley and towards Price, Utah, and eventually to our halfway point in Moab. In order to avoid fatigue, we decided it would be a good idea to take a break every hour or hour and a half or so, which led us to our first pit stop in the little town of Helper. Okay, so our first pit stop is Helper, Utah. It's a small little like mining town. It's got a little mining museum and things like that. Stop here for, you know, stretch our legs a little bit, grab some coffee. This cute little coffee shop. Look at this, very nice. And then we're gonna continue on to Moab. That's gonna be our next big town that we're gonna stop at, and there is where we're planning on grabbing some lunch. All right, we just have ourselves a bit of a snack and some coffee. Now onward to Moab, but probably stop along the way somewhere to take a little break and stretch our legs again. After grabbing some nice refreshing iced coffee, we ventured on towards our next stop of Green River, Utah. This is the part of the ride that I was not looking forward to the most, because it is filled with straight roads, high winds, and very brown, boring landscapes. But sometimes you have to get through the ugly bits in order to find something beautiful. After a pit stop in Green River and another hour of riding through nothingness, we finally made it to the little adventurous town of Moab, Utah. Okay, so we finally made it to Moab, Utah. We stopped at one of my favorite places here, a small brewery, and they have really good beer and really good burgers. And I felt like this would be the perfect pit stop, what's basically a halfway point of our ride. So we're about 3 hours away from Ouray, and so it's probably gonna take us a little bit over 3 hours to get there because we're gonna probably stop somewhere and take a break along the way. However, we're making pretty good time. Should get there around like 7 or so not too bad. and so far it's been a really good ride. What do you think?
It's been a good ride. Good one.
Confirmed. Mitch confirms it's been a good ride. We did hit a lot of wind coming from between Price and Green River, and then Green River and Moab. It's a very flat area, lots of wind, so if you're driving or riding through it, just keep that in mind. But at least the speed limits are high, so you can get through it fairly quick. This meal and the long break that we took was just what we needed in order to continue our ride to Colorado. This was really interesting to me because before this, I have never been past Moab. I've explored the area around it. I've been to Canyonlands National Park and I've been to Arches National Park. So this was brand new and uncharted territory for me, and I was very, very excited to see what lied beyond. And I'm happy to say that I was not disappointed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the beautiful Colorado. We're just on the state line. We actually flipped around to get a picture in front of this sign, but we are officially, almost officially, in the state of Colorado, and don't have too much. We don't have too much longer to go. Probably just another maybe a couple hours, just under 2 hours before we get to Ouray. So far, this road has been absolutely beautiful. Hopefully you could see it on the footage before this, because some good hairpin turns, some good twisties, and just some amazing views. This is the furthest I've gone past Moab, and it is absolutely incredible here. And I'm excited to see what the rest of this road looks like. So we're about just under an hour away from Ouray, however you say it. We decided to stop here and take a little break because this view is just absolutely incredible. Look at that. You got the river, there's a nice road alongside it. We got some really good lighting and the sun almost going down. And wow, so far, just even getting to Ouray has been just a beautiful experience, because we've had a lot of views, especially right after Moab, where it really just became stunning. So taking a small little break and then hopefully make it to town before it gets too dark. Okay, so here's a bit of an update about what's going on our first full day here in Ouray. Still don't know how to properly say that, Colorado. Our original plan was to ride the $1 Million Highway today, but we found out that there's a bicycle race that's going on for a good portion of the day. So instead we decided to stay an extra night and switch things around. And today we're going to ride over to Telluride, which is about an hour away from here. And Telluride is a famous ski resort in town in the Colorado Rockies, and I've heard that it's a really, really beautiful place. So today we're going to check that out and see what it's like, and then ride around that area for a little bit and just kind of take it a little bit easy. We had a really long ride yesterday, so it's going to be nice to kind of chill a little bit today and do a little kind of a shorter rides in the area versus tackling another long day. So that's the plan for today. We're about to head out, and yeah, we're excited to see how it looks. Have a proper start to a day without some breakfast and coffee. Once we fueled up ourselves and our bikes, it was time to head towards the famous town of Telluride. I was really excited about this bit because we could see the surrounding area in proper daylight this time to really take it all in, and we were not disappointed. Not long after we made it to Telluride, and all I could say is, wow.
Yo, look at this town. This is like a classic western town. This is so cool. It's good. It's called coffee. Is that coffee?
Remember when I had a simple goal in life of to ride down Main Street Park City on a motorcycle? Yeah, and now look at us. So we made it to the town of Telluride, and it is absolutely beautiful. It is surrounded by mountains, literally. There's this beautiful view here, and there's a road up there which we're not gonna do, but I looked into it, and it apparently goes over the mountains and meets up with the $1 Million Highway on the other side, which is pretty awesome, but it's way too technical and it's still closed. Anyways, this town is just absolutely gorgeous. It reminds me a lot of Park City, but even cooler, I would say. And we grabbed some food, grabbed some coffee while we were here, and we saw some dirt roads while coming up this way. That's what we're gonna check out next. I think it's safe to say that both of us were glad that we ventured off the pavement, because we were treated to some of the most incredible views of the Colorado Rockies towering in the distance. Unfortunately, we could not continue exploring the dirt roads forever and eventually started making our way back towards Ouray. may be a bit of an abrupt ending because this is when I decided to split this trip into 2 parts instead of squeezing it all into one video. So I apologize in advance for that. Once we got back to town, we grabbed some much needed food and then headed to sleep to make sure that we were fully rested for the $1 million highway that we had planned for the next day. So thank you so much for watching. Sorry for the abrupt ending, but please do like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on part 2, where we finally hit the $1 million highway.